Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're talking about why a stock market bull run is coming and real estate investing. Why? Because you need to buy assets, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not already and you haven't started, now is the time. But we have a lot to talk about, so stay tuned and share the video. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Only those with the icon next to their name can be in the chat room tonight. Everybody else can watch. But again, smash that like button and welcome. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. If you can't get into the chat room this evening, on Wednesday nights, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch, you can listen, you can subscribe to the channel, you can click the all notification bell. Once you subscribe, you can share the videos. You just can't be in the chat room unless you are a member of the channel on Wednesday nights. So with that, let's start off with the second best thing. We have our own entrepreneurs in the house. So what do I have? I put it in the chat room for everybody to see. Beachfront Java. That's right. Our own Professor, Auntie Val, and family have their business. It's in the coffee and tea business. Premium blended coffee and tea. So what do? You go to beachfrontjava.com. You use the promo code SSN Lifestyle, all capital letters, because after your first order, you get a discount for life. Some of that premium blends come in different bags, half-pound bags up to 5-pound bags. And premium blend means just that. Where are you going to get your coffee made? Is it going to be in Colombia, in South America? Is it going to be in Costa Rica? Is it going to be in Central America? Is it going to be in Indonesia? Is it going to be African? Well, it's all of the above. And therefore, you know it's premium blend and it's whole bean, fine ground, drip ground. And if you have a Keurig, no excuses, because she has and the family has Keurig as well. So make sure you get your shipping is free for everybody. So into the United States, that is, only in the U.S. So make sure you go get some of that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, once again, the request, smash the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. After that, let's see how far we go tonight, because Byzantine Red is back in the house. He apparently is not near Tampa. He's not near any power outages. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Very happy to see you once again, and everybody who's in the path of the Hurricane Milton, all you in Florida, Central Florida, it has touched land. It is going to be a devastating situation, but only if you were near the ocean. It looks like it reduced to a Cat 2. It probably is a Cat 1 by now, but right about now for the next few hours, rising tide. So that means any storm surges, water's going to creep up another 3 to 5 feet for sure if you're on the coast. So make sure you stay safe, stay put for this evening. Tornadoes have spun off. All kind of damage has been wreaked, and billions of dollars more. In fact, this is going to be $500 billion before this is over, just in the last 10 days worth of damage. We're talking about 500 billion or more in damage, because this one across the state, it's going to have like this little path. It's going to be crazy. So once again, hopefully everybody's safe and sound who's in Florida, and everybody else on the other side of Florida, from the Gulf Coast to the East Coast side, stay in a safe place. All right, let's get into it. because I want to start off with something that is appalling to me. Why do I call it appalling? Is because there's an 86-year-old guy that did the crypto scam. Yes, we're going to get into why the stock market bull run is coming. But I just had to get into this because this is crazy right now. And I have to do a few things because I got a lot of things going on in the background as well. But I just find this so appalling that it's just sickening. Here, let me pull this up. Hey, dude, is what he says. Let me pull this up. This isn't exactly what I want. This is what I want here. This is crazy right here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this right here. 86-year-old to pay $14 million after admitting to running crypto Ponzi scheme. That's the bad part. But here's what's worse. Because he's 86 years old, the Justice Department, the judge, they say, you get a pass. You get 5 years probation. I'm like, are we serious right now? All the lives that this guy destroyed, and he gets probation because he's older? Look at this. An 86-year-old former California attorney was sentenced to 5 years probation and ordered to pay almost $14 million after admitting to carrying out a multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme. In Nevada, of all places, in October 8th judgment filed by Las Vegas federal court judge Gloria Navarro. Are we kidding right now? Conspiracy of commodity fraud after pleading guilty. 1 count. I mean, this is incredible to me. Incredible. I mean, talk about this is just crazy. Talk about separate rules for separate people. This is insane. I just can't even. So anyhow, that's the first disgrace. Here goes the second disgrace of the day before we get into some other things. Some people, I've been talking about this for 5 years, ever since I came upon the scene, when in the 1980s, Bank of America was I was a victim of Bank of America and a victim of Wells Fargo. As it turns out, I was a victim of U.S. Bank as well over the years. But in the 1980s and early 90s, I was a victim of Bank of America and Wells Fargo. At the end of the 90s, I was a victim of U.S. Bank. What do I mean by victim? This is what I mean by victim. Imagine you go to the bank, and then while you're at the bank, you walk in and say, hey, I need my money. And they say, I'm sorry, you have no money in your bank account, like this right here, zero. So you're thinking there's a glitch. Like there's a glitch now. They're testing you. They've been testing you for the last 20 years to see what was going to happen after there are zero balances in people's accounts. And the banks keep testing to see what's going to happen. Well, again, there was report of problems spiked around 1 p.m. Eastern time. About 20,000 outages were reported. So people complained that their account balances were not visible on the app, while others, they said they could access their accounts, but that they were seeing a balance of zero. That's real nice. But the problem is, if you would have went to the bank and said, I need to withdraw my money, they would have said you had zero money. And I don't think you would have just walked off and been happy about that. You'd have been like me. You would have been like, we're calling the police, sir, or security or whatever. And you can call whoever you want. I'm not leaving. You stole my money. So we got a problem here. Could you imagine having a few hundred people in the bank whose accounts are zero? And then they tell you there's nothing they can do about it? Well, until that day happens, which I hope it doesn't happen for you, my policy is make sure you have a duffel bag of cash. Act like you are a drug dealer, all right? That's what I'm going to suggest. Leaving your money in a bank is always risky. So I just want to point this out again before we get into something else that we're talking about tonight, which has to do with, obviously, why a stock market bull run is coming. This is not hard to figure out because the reason that bull run is starting has to go way, way back. Way, way back. All right? We're going to go back because I haven't talked about this, but now I'm going to talk about it because in July of 2024, this year, just a few months ago, Treasury Department finalizes the 1% corporate stock buyback tax reporting rules. Okay. Now, remember, corporations buy back every year their own stock in the trillions of dollars. So it would be nice to know that these guys can get, maybe a few $billion, right? Not like, let's say it's 10 trillion. It's not like they're going to get 1 trillion. Out of that, they might get 100 billion, sorry. But all I'm saying is this is better than nothing. So here's the new rules. So I want you to understand why all of a sudden there's a trigger. So background. In fact, let me put this article into the chat room for everybody that's going to be watching on replay. Because this right here has an effect on the stock market. Do you guys know it's another all-time record high today on the S&P 500? How many of you are happy about that? All right, you should be. The background, the U.S. Treasury Department issued regulations finalizing the reporting requirements on the 1% corporate stock buyback tax and starting the clock on the tax first filing and payment deadline. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The deadline for the first filing and payment of the 1% corporate stock buyback tax is October 31st. That's right, the end of this month. I wonder what the penalties are if they don't file it. Oh, well. Let's just go to the details. October 31 date will be the first deadline for calendar year tax return filers with regard to their stock repurchases occurring during the 2023 calendar year. I love this, retroactive. But here's the other thing I love. And for the fiscal year tax return filers with regard to their stock repurchases occurring after December 31st, 2022. So it's only calendar year 2023 during all fiscal years ending after December 31, 2022 and before July 1, 2024. So I just want everybody to understand October 31st, they start their first 1% stock buyback. Now, look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Remember those real estate investment trusts that I was talking about? ORC, AGNC. Remember those? ARR, NLY. Remember those? All traded corporations except real estate investment trust and regulated investment companies, RICs, that engage in a stock repurchase during a taxable year, whether or not resulting in stock buyback tax liability, are required to file a stock buyback tax return for that taxable year. And then they're just telling you that they're supposed to be reported on the IRS 720 quarterly form that is due for the first full calendar quarter after the end of traded corporation's taxable year. So notice they single that out, but they're still going to owe that real estate, that buyback tax. They have a transition period that's up until October 31. Payment is due by the filing deadline, and no extensions for reporting or paying the tax are permitted. Ooh, 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 I love it. All traded corporations subject to the reporting requirements above, as well as REITs and RICs, are required to keep complete and detailed records of all repurchases in a manner that supports the accuracy of potential stock buyback tax return. I'm liking this. I'm liking it. The first excise tax returns for the stock buyback tax will be due October 31st, with the first payments of the tax due when those returns are filed. I'm happy. I'm loving this. About damn time. Way to go. And in fact, it should be worth more. It should have been 5% in my opinion. But it's okay. This is a start, ladies and gentlemen. These corporations are doing some things that manipulate the market. Everybody should be happy about this manipulation, I believe. Why do I believe that? Well, you're getting to join in and take advantage if you're buying stocks. This is why there's going to be a bull run, because of stock buybacks. That's right, the stock buybacks, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. Let's go look at, there's something else I want to get. Hold on a second. We will do it this way. Let's go look at the stock market here. Look at this. Hurricane Milton makes landfall. Stock futures a little changed. NVIDIA shares up 25% in the last month. That's what I was saying just on Monday. Rallying near a record ahead of tech earnings. You know the tech earnings after this quarter is going to be stellar because they're breaking out their new software this quarter. So the first quarter of 2025, this is why there's going to be a bull run just in NVIDIA stock. But because NVIDIA is heavily weighted on the stock market with its subsidiaries and with the other companies that buy, that's going to make an uptick on the stock market. So I wanted to point out something today because it was a headline ahead of the Milton hurricane landfall, was that the S&P has a new all-time record high. You have to enjoy that. Who wouldn't love that? The only people who's not going to love that are people who are, shall I say, not in the stock market. That would be a foolish maneuver. I've been saying it. We've been talking about it for the last, 3-4 years. So there's really no excuse. And let me see if I put this in the chat room like I said I was. Yes, I did. All right, so we're good there. But once again, let me know what you guys are thinking. Biz Red in the house tonight. Do you have anything to talk about regarding this? But here's the other thing that people keep forgetting about. It's the stock buybacks. That's what people are forgetting about. Stock buyback program surge in popularity in 2024 despite 1% tax. You know what's funny? This is what I keep telling everybody that thinks that taxing $100 million, there's only, like I said, 10,000 people with unrealized capital gains possibilities of $100 million worth of an asset class or more, for them to have a 28% tax rate for it. I find this very hilarious because I see right here, these guys are going to be taxed for doing buybacks. And these guys just don't do buybacks of, $100. They're doing billions of dollars worth of buybacks, altogether trillions of dollars, and they don't seem to care. And I just have to ask people simple questions. Why are they? It's very simple. Buy NVIDIA, right? And I'm NVIDIA. I'm going to do a $50 billion stock buyback. What's going to happen? Well, if my stock is $127 on Monday, and then the stock goes to $130 per share on Tuesday, the stock went up more than 1%, didn't it? Yes, exactly. It went up damn near 3-4%. So all I had to do was just have enough shares of stock. Who really cares? I can easily get the 1% back. So why am I going to care about 1%? And hell, they wouldn't care about 5% either, because they're going to get it back. Generally, when you buy back your shares of stock, the price of the stock goes up because people are buying. Like, look here. You want to know what's funny? Here's a list right here of some stocks that's doing buyback. Here's NVIDIA. Here's Microsoft. Here's Google. Here's Apple. They're all doing stock buybacks this year. Do you really think they're going to worry about a 1% tax when their stock went up 1.67% in one day? All they have to do is sell stocks if they wanted to, but this is peanuts compared to what they're making. Now, you have to keep in mind that the executives and the CEO and board members sometimes, well, not sometimes, damn near 99.9% of the time, any stock market company, these guys receive a bonus. If the stock price goes to, I'll use this as an example right here, Apple goes up to $225, that triggers options. That triggers, oh, we're going to give you another 1 million worth of shares. But not really, it's more of an option. But still, it's an option to sell is still an option. That's valuable, right? So we'll give you an extra 1 million if the stock price goes from 150 up to 220. That's what they do. That's the contract CEOs have. This is how Elon Musk got his 56 billion, because it triggered if the stock price went over a certain amount, then this is how much he would receive as a bonus. It's 56 billion. And the corporation tried to, the shareholders go, wait a minute, man, that's a lot of money. But as you know, you can go to court all you want to, but you guys signed the agreement. Or shall I say your board and CEO signed the agreement, and you guys signed off on it because you're actually said it's okay for these guys to do this stuff. But nonetheless, after the fact, they were like 56 billion. Damn, we could have had that in our company. Now we're putting that out to this guy. So these are the type of things that these guys are doing. So they're happily going to pay the 1% tax. The same reason they would happily pay the anybody that has assets over 100 million, because they're sitting there going, we just made $1 trillion combined together. That's what's going on. So you guys have to understand, look at this annual stock buybacks. Look at this. Look at what's been happening over the last 20 years almost. These are 629 billion. 800 billion. Then all of a sudden it dropped, obviously, after the 2006-7. But look at the rise ever since. When it gets to 1,000 in 2018, because of the tax cut, tax breaks, and all that, that is actually $1.1 trillion. Then it drops back down because of a pandemic situation. But look, quickly goes back up to over $1 trillion worth of stock buybacks every year. And this year, we haven't even got to the finish line. We haven't even got to December 31st. We still have 3.5 months to go. So they're going to break the record of 1245. This is incredible when you start thinking about it. So if you know there's going to be over $1 trillion worth of stock buybacks, you know there's going to be another $200 billion worth of stock buybacks over the next 3 months. Now, does it seem so out of character for the S&P 500 to break records? I don't think so. I don't think so. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you, even on replay. This is why you're going to make money if you're in the stock market. There's just no way you can lose, especially when we start using these symbols. So I'm going to get into something else, so don't worry about it. We're not going to leave you hanging here. I don't have a course to sell. All right, this isn't something I'll reiterate. This is you to do your own research. I'm giving you the information. The course that you would buy from me for $5 to $10 grand that all these other guys sell, I'm not doing none of that. You guys need that money, and you should be buying some of these stocks that are doing the buyback. That's what you should be doing. I put the link down over there and pull some things up. I had some things up today, but unfortunately my computer, I had to do some resetting, and I see right now that I don't have what I'm supposed to have up. But let's just do it the old-fashioned way. let's just go with the stock buybacks, and it was by tips rank. I think I had, and unfortunately I don't have that handy, but let's see what companies are doing stock buybacks, and we'll come to that in a second. Here we go. I had it earlier. I'll tell you right now, $50 billion NVIDIA is doing. Microsoft also doing billions of dollars worth of stock buyback. So wouldn't it make sense that you should have some NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, all these companies that do stock buybacks? I would think that would be the right thing to do. Apple's planning a $110 billion stock buyback, just so you guys know. No. Here's what I want. I wish I had it all ready to go, but I had something better than all ready to go. I had a whole list for you. That would have been crazy, but unfortunately, that list I cannot pull up as we speak, but I'll do the next best thing because there's something I did not see earlier, and that is the I'll pull that up in a second, but this right here is your clue. This is your clue right here. There's no stock buybacks, which is share buybacks. But look at all these companies. A lot of people don't realize the amount of companies that do stock buybacks. Look at this. Have you ever heard of APOG, ANGO, STZ, CAG, Conagra Brands? That's very interesting that they're going to do a stock buyback. But look at this. This is crazy. Crazy. Reported October 4th, October 2nd. Look at this. Look at all these companies. You don't see all the big time ones because the big time ones are in here. Micron Technology, MU. They're doing a stock buyback. Look at their stock chart over the last 3 months. They decided to do stock buybacks. Very interesting. So FedEx, very interesting. Look, stock price goes down. Very interesting. Very interesting. Look at this. This is incredible when you think about it. How many companies? Just keeps going on and on and on. It's incredible when you think about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's incredible. Incredible. Look here, Nike. Even Nike's doing stock buybacks. See, it would have been nice to know when they did it, right? October 1st, making an announcement. September 2nd, all of a sudden a big, and then it drops. Is this an opportunity down here? You guys tell me. You're supposed to be studying. Sorry, that's not Nike. Hold on a second. I was like, that didn't even look like Nike. Something's wrong. All right, here we go. Nike, all of a sudden, at the end of the month, it starts popping, drops back down, but it's still over 80. But people knew that they were going to start buying their stocks way back, not just now. It didn't just happen. Just like right now. The Microsoft, the NVIDIA, all these companies already announced it. The buybacks are going to be like right now, starting this quarter for the next year. So they're not going to spend all $50 billion at one time. They're going to actually spread it out, which means the stock price is going to increase because if somebody bought, let's just call it 25 million or 10 million here, 10 million there, in case you don't know, in order to get to 50 billion, Jesus Christ. That's, this is insane. Okay, first of all, again, just so everybody understands what a billion is, it's 1,000 bags of $1 million. So 50 times 1,000, all right, is 50 billion. Just so you guys get an idea. All right? 50,000 $1 million stacks. All right? So, do you think that 10 of those stacks out of the 50,000 will matter? Do you think the 50 stacks out of that 50,000 stacks are going to matter? I don't think so. Right? So you can do this over a year's time, and as you keep buying the shares, you keep increasing the price, right? So just think about that. In theory, right? In theory, but especially when it's a hot stock. Now, I haven't went down for all of them, but I just want to show you guys how many stocks. There's 4,500. Can you guys see this right here? I don't think you can. Let me see if I'm on the wrong page. I think I am. I'm on the wrong page. Let me get you guys on the right page. Hold on. I lost my screen. Oh, sure did. Just lost the screen. That's why you guys, I couldn't see it. You guys couldn't see it. Here we go. I'm just going to add that to the list. All right. Brian P's in the house. Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Why a stock market bull run is coming, he doesn't care. He already has dividends. Money coming in every week with YMAG and YMAX from a YieldMax ETF fund. He has his money put in the stock market a certain way, but he can still ride the wave of the bull run because of the buybacks. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. It is, man. Hopefully all is well with you as well. Hello, SSN family. Thank you so much for being in the house. Mr. Dividend is here. Smash that like button. That's right. Do the trifecta. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Let people know what's happening. Now, I went all through that little stock buybacks, and the screen was not up. So it took it away. Oh, I reset something today. That's very interesting. I put in the tip rank so people can actually go there and pull it up themselves. That would be awesome. Okay, I got the notification and saw the videos. Right on. We are making money in here. Thank you so much for that. You're damn right. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to get you to make money up in here. Joe Nay's in the house. Another investor's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon that's next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN Nation. I pray everybody has evacuated the path of Milton and have found safety. You're right about that. Some people don't even have the money to relocate. That's another thing right there. That's the thing right there that we talked about. I just made a video about gambling just yesterday, and I gave the stats. I showed the stats. 70% of the population doesn't have $1,000 in their bank account. So that is a problem when all of a sudden you have to go stay at a hotel, and the hotel might cost you, they're going to take $100 to $200 in deposit. So that's gone. Then they're going to take, let's say you need to stay there 3 days, and because it's a hurricane, they say, well, it's $200 per night. Well, that's plus now you had to get gas, had to fill your vehicle with gas, and you had to get something to eat. Next thing you know, $1,000. If you don't have it, you can't go. This is exactly what he's right about this. This is what's so scary that people don't understand. Nobody's coming to save you. The government isn't there to save you. The government is there to help you in some small capacity. But you're not getting a free ride. All right, so you might as well just throw that out the window. There's going to be people that have homes destroyed. They're going to have insurance companies saying, we're not paying you. The government is not going to be stepping in and going, oh, your house is worth $450,000. We can see that, and we're going to give you the $450,000 to rebuild. That's not going to happen. So I'm just saying, you better think about protecting yourself. And also you have to start thinking about, where do you want to live? Because for me, I stayed in Florida a few times with the restaurant equipment business for 3 years. There were things that happened in Florida that in California, because I'm a California kid, I didn't even think about. So the first time when they said a hurricane's coming, I was like, it was a shock to me because I was like, what do you mean? It was weird to think like, oh, wait, you got to get sandbags maybe, or you got to go make sure your car has fuel in it and stand in a long line. You got to make sure you have food. What happens if the electricity goes out? So now you're getting supply. I'm like, I never even had to think about this kind of stuff. Boarding up things, worrying about, I mean, it was a litany of stuff that for people living there, matter of fact, because it always happens. But for me, I'm thinking like, what am I doing here? I don't even have to deal with this crap. This is crazy, right? That's the thing. And so when you're in these lower price locations, or used to be, now all of a sudden the wages are not the same. Things are a little bit less. You don't have even 500. Then you have to evacuate. I mean, this is crazy when you think about it, especially for hurricanes. And it would be opposite in Florida, right? Well, I don't know. But in California, there's fires now, mostly in the mountains, foothill regions. But still, people are in jeopardy. The insurance company says, we're not paying. Your house is worth over $1 million. Here's 500. See you later. And then you have to fight them in court to try to get what you need to rebuild. And most of the times it's going to be an L because you're going to be spending years in court and hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially. So all I'm saying is this is not good. Nobody's coming to save you. So you have to start thinking going forward. You have to put yourself in a position to where you're going to be safe, or put yourself where you're going to have options. Now, why a stock market bull run is coming, real estate investing are all on the table. But here on the screen, you can see what I have sitting here. And this is, that's part of what you see on the screen. This is the stock buybacks that you guys didn't see on the screen. Check out your emails, Brian P. Thank you. I will. I got the notification, saw the trailer. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for letting me know. Saw the video, smash that like button. Exactly. Thank you for that. All right. So you can see here the tip rankings again. I'm at the very bottom. But here, if you'll notice, there's 4,535 companies on this list. I was just showing you a few over here on the left-hand side. This is crazy. Here's Adobe. Let me go see what Adobe's doing. Look at their stock price down to $494. In the last 3 months, it's down 12%, but they're doing stock buybacks. Look at that. They're going to spend a few $1 billion. No biggie. Just a few billion. Big Lots. They're redlined. I don't know what they're thinking. They're going to do stock buybacks? Well, it didn't help. All right? That didn't help. That did not help. I don't know what they were smoking. Reported is here. Period ending is here. All right, so these already have happened. These already took off. They've already happened. Big Lots. There's Dave & Buster's. They're on the list. Dell is on the list. They did theirs already. So this gives you an idea of what happens with these stock buybacks. And now I'm going to go to, in fact, I'll do it a different way. I'll just Google it. I'll try it a different way. S&P 500 company stock buybacks. All right. So this should give everybody, here you go. In the first quarter, S&P 500 companies made $236 billion in share repurchases. All right. That's fine. Stock buybacks increased 8.1%. I'm looking for the list. They don't want to give me a list tonight. Well, this is what happens when I don't have my links already set up. Okay. Let's do it this way then. NVDA stock buyback. All right. So everybody can understand here And here it is. 50 billion share repurchase. In August 2024, NVIDIA announced a 50 billion share repurchase program. This is the third largest buyback in the S&P 500. Is that crazy or what? They did 25 billion in August 23rd, 2023 announcement. So you think that people are out here buying the NVIDIA stock and it's rising when in fact it's a combination of people buying NVIDIA stock and the stock price increasing. Hopefully you understand what's happening. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put in this right here so then people can see Microsoft. They approved $60 billion in September for stock buybacks. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 60 billion. So NVIDIA had $7 billion left over to play with. And the other thing is, not only do they have 50 billion NVIDIA, they also have 7 more billion. So that's $57 billion, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, 57 billion. And Microsoft is going to do 60. Should you have Microsoft stock? I believe you should. This isn't rocket science. This would make sense, wouldn't it? And then, of course, Microsoft says, we'll give you a little bit of money. We'll throw down some little, 3 cent, 5 cent or whatever, like NVIDIA, 1 cent or something dividend. Let's go Apple. Okay. Apple isn't new to large buybacks. The company did 100 billion buyback in 2018 and continued through 2021 to 2023 with 90 billion. You see what these guys did? $190 billion. You don't think their stock didn't rise? Of course their stock rose, right? So you guys have to understand what's going on here. Apple unveils record 110 billion buyback. See? So shouldn't you have Apple? So are you surprised yet that the S&P 500 is going to break all-time record highs over the next 4 years? You think somebody else did this? You can easily see how it works. It's going to happen. You're going to have people jump on the Apple bandwagon because the price goes up. And as you should, Apple's a great company, right? So you should be in that company. You should be in Microsoft. You should be in NVIDIA. You should be in all these great companies. You should be. They're doing stock buybacks to boot. So it's like a win-win. But you have to be in the game. To get in the game, you should have a brokerage account. Down below in the description box, there are several options. You have Robinhood. You get free share of stock if you download the Robinhood app, whether you use them or not. Webull, you get, if you put in $100 or more, then they do 15 shares, give 15 shares to you. So there's all kind of things that you can do here. But I just want you guys to understand, they're not the only company. It's a ton of companies are doing this. And they don't care paying the 1% tax either. Are you really going to care about paying 1% after you created your own shares of stock in the first place? I mean, that's a win-win for everybody. Win for the win for the country, win for the individuals. So I just gave you 3 stocks that you should be interested in, right? Let's go see Meta. We're going to look for all the FANG stocks, shall we? Quarterly trends, Meta platform stock buybacks. Okay, here we go. Meta is paying first ever dividend, authorizes $50 billion. Here we go again. $50 billion. So you don't think you should have some Meta either, right? This isn't rocket science. So you combine with Mr. Dividend by getting some dividend stocks. Then you get the FANG stocks who are doing their own stock buybacks. You have the Federal Reserve cooperating by reducing interest rates. So now people are going to refinance their homes, their corporations, their commercial properties, do all this, have extra cash, and they're going to put it where? In the stock market, because it's going to be rising. Okay. So who's predicting the stock market's going to go down over the next year or two? I don't see how. So far, we have 110 billion from Apple, 50 billion from Meta, 50 billion from Nvidia, 60 billion from I can't remember the other person I left out, Microsoft. That's over $200 billion, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is crazy that you're going to add into a stock index, which is S&P 500. And there's more. All the indexes are going to rise because other companies are on the other platforms, right? So this is incredible. 40 billion in 2023. All right, I'm just saying that was also Meta, aka Facebook. So again, is there anybody? Oh, we got to do Google. Hold on a second. We got to see what Google's doing. Here's Google, ladies and gentlemen, not to be outdone. Alphabet announced 70 billion stock buyback and the first ever dividend of 20 cents per share. 70 billion, even beats Microsoft, 60 billion. They go one step further, 70 billion. Anybody thinking they shouldn't own the FANG stocks? Facebook, Apple, Amazon. Come on. Anybody? Let's go. Google. Come on. This isn't rocket science. Does anybody think they shouldn't own like an ETF, like a VOO, a total market index, or an S&P index like QQQY maybe, where you can get some dividends as well? Yeah, QQQY. I just mentioned that, so you guys can go check that out. But 70 billion. These guys aren't even shy about all this. 110 billion from Apple, 70 billion from Google. That's 180 billion, 60 billion from Microsoft. That's 240 billion. And oh, by the way, we're going to go another 50 billion for Nvidia. 290 billion just by 4 companies. You don't think they're going to get to over 1.5 trillion in this year? I don't see how it wouldn't happen, but it's going to be crazy. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this. You think you should be on the sidelines, or do you think you should be in the game? I just mentioned VOO. You can go check that out. In fact, you know what? Forget that. We'll just go look. I should have. Here it is. S&P 500. Look at this. Look at this. This is in the last 5 days, 1.67%. This is in the last month, 5%. Last 6 months, 11%. I don't think anybody's unhappy with their VOO shares. All right? I don't think anybody's unhappy. 33% year over year. I don't think anybody's unhappy. Anybody else think anybody's unhappy about this? I think most people would be happy with the 33.55% increase, knowing it's going to keep rising, right? So this is very, very interesting. When you look at this, the S&P 500 Growth Index Fund, look at this. This is interesting. VOOG is something we've been talking about for a minute. All right, 8.3%, 8.43 in 1 month, 30% also year to date, 1 year, 38%, and this is why we've been saying VOO, VOOG. You're doing good if you stay with the Vanguard group so far, right? So now we'll go look at something else. That's the S&P. I'm going to go do something else, which this year is very underrated. I still haven't figured out why the VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, has a little lag. See, look at this lag. It's very interesting. I don't understand. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, but there's a lag. See, 5% for the month, 32% year over year. So there is no lag after all. 32%. So VTI joins also into the 30% year over year range. But the VOO, we know what we're talking about there, right? All right, so here's another bull run. Remember, I just mentioned this NASDAQ 100, but see, this is from the Defiance Group. This has to do with dividends, ladies and gentlemen. Not so much stock market appreciation. They're giving out so much in dividends. It's like 80% in dividends. Their stock price has lost 40. So you have to figure out, is the 86%, in fact, let me go see if I can pull this up real quick. This is one of those ones you have to figure out, is it worth it to you to buy and be in this? Let me see if I can pull this. No, I can't. QQQY, NASDAQ. I messed that up, but nonetheless, we'll see. Hold on a second. I'll get it. I don't want the Invesco stock, all right? We don't want Invesco. Okay, here we go. I'll be able to get there sooner or later. All right. I'm trying to get to, yes, this is where I'm going. NASDAQ. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you smash the like button. Also, I should have pointed out, you know what? I'm just going to show this on the screen a little bit. You guys know we got the SSN Nation gear, right? You can go order some of this stuff at stopstrugglingnow.com/stopstrugglingnow merchandise. Yes, the old merchandise. You can go get it. There's a link down below in the description box. If you want some of the merch, go get some merch, please. Also, if you're interested in real estate investing and instead of in the United States, you want to do something that's offshore with no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry because of pre-construction, then I would suggest, we're going to get deleted. Oh, that's messed up. We're going to get deleted. If I get deleted, I'll be right back. All right, just letting you know. Because this is some of these stocks. But anyhow, go to SSN Lifestyle. Join us on the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Each one of those days, we go and handle business with regard to real estate, with regard to lawyers, with regard to banking, possibly for you, with regarding loans, so you understand what they're looking for when they need, or if you needed a loan. So all of that comes into play. So I want you to think about that. All right. Geez, here's the boot. Before we get to the boot part, look at this. This is the dividends each. Sorry. Yep. $1, 93 cents, 62 cents, 85 cents per share, 80 cents every quarter. Oh, I'm sorry. Every month. Sorry. Every month. So you're something over 3 months, but can $12 from a stock that it has I think the price is, let me think what the price is. What is the price? Let's see if I can get it before we get booted. No, I think it is like 34, right? Let me see. Come on. We're having a little delay. Once again, no surprise. This always happens, especially when we're talking about Defiance Group and we start talking about YieldMax ETFs Group, because these have some of the highest returns, high risk, high rewards. So this is why sometimes these go out. All right. Enhanced options. That's what these guys are playing with. Do your research. $34. So again, you're getting almost more than that during the course of a year. That's going to be very, very nice. If you get $12, $13, $15, that's a lot of money. right? All right, so I see right now we're going to have to go full screen on this. If I can. If I get disconnected, I'll be back. Don't forget about that. Now, back to why a stock market bull run is coming. Once again, it's hold on. I got to do something else. If I get disconnected, like I said, I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, I can't even. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like I'm back. This happens a lot. When we start talking about these QQQs, real max ETFs, the WDTEs, talk about awesomeness. That is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. That is really, really nice. IWMY. That's right. He gave you some shares to look up as well, some stocks to do your own research with. And again, if anybody's interested in the real estate game, just go join us in Punta Cana. ssnlifestyle.com. Go order your tickets now, because after the first 5 or 6 people order at $199, the price goes up $50 more. So get in that now. Why? Because first stop on first day, we go see lawyers. So that way you can ask any questions you want. It doesn't cost you anything additional. The only thing that costs you additional is when you get your airfare and wherever you stay. I suggest you stay in Los Corrales. I did some searching on Airbnb. Just yesterday, Airbnb changed up in the Dominican Republic. There are a reduction of listings. I don't know why yet. I will find out by Friday. I went up to Cana Rock, hardly any listings, maybe 20. In off season, there's so many units that's not rented. It's ridiculous. I couldn't figure out why there's 20 units when there's usually 50. I went to Los Corrales. I couldn't figure out why Coral Village, which usually has a small concentration where everybody rents their unit damn near, I couldn't figure out why there's only like 2 or 3 rentals available. Something must have changed, especially for the month of December. The first week of December is not high season. All right, it's there's more people renting during that time of the year. I couldn't believe it. So I said, okay, I'm going to go out till February. I looked at February. February, it was the same thing. And not only that, I noticed the map was different. The map showed places to eat, bars, restaurants, mini marts even, grocery stores. I mean, it was lit up like a Christmas tree for available, so people now could potentially see where they're staying at, what's close by. I love it, quite frankly. But the first day we go see lawyers because it's very simple. If you don't know the laws and you need advice, you should get it. But again, I do suggest you stay in Los Corrales because I like to, we pick people up in Los Corrales every morning so we can go do what we need to do. And it's usually less expensive to stay in Los Corrales. All right. I'm just saying you can stay anywhere, but I'm just giving you an idea. That's the place that has most of the infrastructure where you can walk to the beach, go to the beach clubs, go to bars and restaurants. It's all complimentary, so to speak. Bands are playing at a lot of small little venues. They have, music at the beach clubs. I mean, there's all kind of things. The grocery stores, the mini marts, the restaurants, the ATM machines, the pharmacy, everything that you would want is there, except all inclusive, of course. So if you're trying to do all inclusive, they have them in Los Corrales, El Portecito. That's fine. But all I'm saying is you can stay anywhere you want, but you'll have the itinerary a few days before we go. But on the first day, December 2nd, we're going to go see lawyers. The second day, we're going to go around the island to go check out some real estate. And what do I mean by that? We might go to somebody's office, then we might find ourselves at Vistacana because a lot of people might have heard about Vistacana but never went there. We might find ourselves in Macau. You just never know. It all depends because it's all in real time. In November, there might be a new project that came out. So then we'll go to their offices. We'll go see what they're talking about. We'll go see the lay of the land possibly. So that way you understand distances. You understand if you like the areas and things like that. And then on Wednesday, it's kind of an open day. But this time we're going to go get the bankers. We need to see bankers because you need to understand things are changing. And what it takes to get a loan in the DR, you need to know because you cannot get a loan from the United States to buy property in the Dominican Republic. You can only get a loan in Dominican Republic, and those banks are no joke. They try to do, they do 12%, 13%, 14% interest with adjustable loan. Can you believe that? You have a 12% adjustable rate loan? Insanity. Some of these can adjust every month, not every year. Every 3 months, not every year. That's even crazier. So these are the things you need to know because if you're going to buy something there or you're going to do business there or you're going to try to be a resident there, you need to know answers and questions. Anybody can open a bank account, luckily. And you will need 6 months worth of bank statements and you will need your 2023 tax returns. You submit those in advance starting around November 15th. I get with our team of lawyers and they'll submit it. So then by the time you arrive, you'll have it where you're already set. Instead of being at the bank for 5 hours, you'll be at the bank for an hour to an hour and a half. All right? Because you'll be pre-approved. So they'll already have your account. So all you have to do is $500 or more for a USD account, for a peso account. And they do give you a debit card. So keep that in mind. All right, so why a stock market bull run is coming, Federal Reserve interest rate going down. And because the United States has to make more money, they do bonds. Bonds went up to 4%. I know, it's crazy, right? But they will buy that 4% bond. So keep that in mind to stabilize. Also, keep in mind the buybacks. All the big companies are doing buybacks, and there's hundreds of other companies, smaller companies that are going to do buybacks as well. Just go to the tip ranks, go check it out. I put in the chat room. You can stay abreast of buybacks. Now, dividends, which Mr. Dividend has been kindly enough to mention, like the IWMYs and I'm going to do this real quick before I get into something else because my screens are, I see things going on that I don't really like. And if I get disconnected, I will be right back, because usually when we're talking about this subject matter, even though everybody talks about this subject matter, for whatever reason, we get disconnected a lot. So what can I tell you? But before we get there, I'm going to do something different. Oh, I didn't even realize I had that. I'm going to do this because while you're making money, you got to have some fun, right? Right.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. What's the fun in making money if you don't have some fun? Now, everybody doesn't have the same extreme type of fun, but you make money, you have a little bit of fun. But it's always good if you have that passive income coming in, so that way you can always have an endless stream of fun. So some would say, okay, Eric, I saw that stream right there. I'm new here. I don't know you. I've never seen that stream. You know what? I'm going to do something for the first time. I'm going to go back to back. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Have Fun all the time. So it wasn't just whatever you saw there. I'm going to go here, something different. Or am I going to go there?
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a back-to-back one. Plus I know some of you saw the trailer. So therefore, 3 videos. I'm sure you don't have any more. Well, stay tuned on Friday night, because I started the Friday night stories as well, as we talk about the financial Friday night live stream at 9, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back and join us. We'll have a few more people in the house, and we'll have some more things to discuss, because it's all about making you more money. And it's all about being in position. You have to be in position, because the next 2.5 years, you have to make, your goal has to be over $150,000 per year, unless you're retired. If you're not retired, you're going to have to make, yes, I know it's a daunting task, $12,000 a month. Good God, do something, right? Legally, I mean, you have to do something. So therefore, you got to get to work, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg each month that goes by that you don't have passive income or an asset that can create passive income for you. You are going to be behind the 8 ball, because if the price of everything goes up 25 to 30%, are you still going to be fine? And what I mean by that is, some of you may have expenses right now. 70% of the population doesn't have $1,000 in the bank, so don't play with me. All right. 80%, 78% are living paycheck to paycheck during the course of a month. Stop playing with me. Just because you make a lot of money, how much do you get to keep is the question. That's the question. But imagine, if you will, numbers such as $12,000, $15,000 a month means you're living paycheck to paycheck still. I'll give you a number that's pretty interesting. 40% of people making $150,000 to $200,000 are living paycheck to paycheck already. How does that happen? We know it happens. You generally live in a place where you can make that type of money, but that place that you make that type of money generally costs more to live because people make that kind of money. So it kind of offsets. That's why this happens. It's just like living in the Bay Area and you make $150,000 a year, San Francisco Bay Area. But then what good is it when every house is $1 million? And rentals are something like $6,000 or $7,000 and $3,000 for a little studio apartment per month. See, this is what you have to deal with, right? Capitalist system, price gouging system. You can call it whatever you want. But the fact of the matter is nobody's coming to save you and nobody's going to give a damn. Just like what's happening right now, unfortunately, in Florida, the devastation that's occurring right as we speak. There's only so much the government can do. Only so much the government will allocate. And then there's gatekeepers, and there's only so much the gatekeepers will give away. The government could say, we'll give you $1 billion. The gatekeepers are going to go, well, I'm sorry, we're only going to give you, sir, $500. You, sir, 1,000. You, sir, $5,000. You, sir, $50,000. They're going to pick and choose. So all I'm saying is you don't want to put yourself in this position going forward because you don't know what's going to happen. You live in a bankrupt country. What do I mean by that? Our deficit is over $35 trillion. It's almost like if you had let's just call it a $35 million credit card. And the credit card company allowed you to go up to your limit of 35 million. And then all of a sudden you had no money, but yet you go back to the bank or the same credit card company and say, hey man, can I get another 3 million? They'd be looking at you like, have you lost your mind? You can't even pay this. How am I going to give you another 3 million? But then of course you're a rich guy and they say, oh yeah, man, you're good for it. So now they give you another 3 million. So now you owe 38 million. Now all of a sudden they say, well, you owe us $4,000, $5,000 a month. And then you say, well, I only make like $4,000 or $5,000 a month right now. That's all the profit I have left. They say, well, we'll suspend that for now. We'll allow you to go out here and put some bonds out so other countries may invest in your company. That's how you can make some more money to pay us back. But what if I don't get the money? Oh, don't worry about it. Just go down to Congress and have them allocate you where you can just get some more money. I mean, this is silly. That's really silly, right? You would be out of business. You would be jacked up. You would have to file bankruptcy because your credit is now messed up. You don't have the income coming in to pay this off. So what are you going to do? After you file the bankruptcy, your credit's still messed up. But the government doesn't have to worry about none of that. So there's a difference. Don't act like the government with this. You don't have the same luxuries as the government, and nobody's coming to save you. So therefore, the only person that can save you is you. And there's even less people that's going to be able to save people, as the 80 to 85% of people are not going to be able to live paycheck to paycheck. So now we're going to be back into community living. That's what it looks like. And that's the fall before the storm until we reach that third world status, because you don't build your infrastructure. We don't build anything. So if anybody thinks that this isn't going to happen, I want to hear from you on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. I've been asking anybody to tell me if you don't think it's going to happen. So far, nobody has taken that challenge. Curtis Davis is in the house. Mr. Financial is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN family. Good evening to you once again. He brings that tagline of ABMM, in case you're new here, always be making money. That's what ABMM stands for. It is his moniker. And that's why you go see his channel as well. He's part of the SSN Nation. Go show some love. Subscribe to his channel. Click the all notification bell. He does have over 1,000 subscribers now. We need to get some more. He's dropping gems day, evening, noon. You just never know when he's going to drop a gem. Keeping you abreast of the stock market. Snapshots. That's valuable information when you're an investor, when you're the CEO of your financial life. So go to Chili Davis, Chilly Davis, and smash the like button and the bell so you get all notifications. Now, YouTube has this funny thing. They don't like giving out notifications. In fact, there goes some weeks I don't get any notifications from Chili Davis channel. But I know he's posting. And so then I just roll over there every now and then so I can actually watch a video and click on it because I'm just like, man, this is cold-blooded what they're doing. Even after I go there, smack on the like button, and I'm a subscriber, I still don't get any notifications. It's crazy. Then all of a sudden I get 2 or 3 in a row. I'm like, oh, this is good. And all of a sudden, no, nothing again. So it has nothing to do with smashing like buttons and nothing to do with subscribers. So that's why, again, go to Chili Davis, subscribe to his channel, click the all notification bell, and watch a few more of his videos. Also, down below in the description box, I've been making a push for our Instagram. Go to Instagram, sign up for Stop Struggling Now. Reason why I say that is I've been doing an experiment. We now have 918 followers on Instagram. Normally what happens, if it hits 919 or 918, all of a sudden, 3 or 4 people are removed. It'll drop back down to 914, 913, 915. For whatever reason, it seems like it cannot go to 920. But we just got to 918. I haven't checked tonight, but like I said, if it's true to form, some reason we'll be back down to 914, 915 for some reason. But go over there, down at the bottom of the description box. All of our social media platforms are there. Please sign up for all of them. That would be greatly appreciated. All right? We don't get no love. Just saying. Hey, Eric, it's not going to happen. Okay, Brian P., clarify, because I've been talking about a lot of things. Do you think the stock market's going to go down or is it going to go up? Is that what you mean is not going to happen? It's not going to go down? I would agree with you. If you mean America's not going to be a third world country, well, then I'm going to have to disagree with you because we're already a third world country. You just don't know it. The reason why people don't know that what America's standings are is because we have the best propaganda machine on the planet. What other countries have 70 to 80% of their population living paycheck to paycheck? Go look around, ladies and gentlemen. How many other countries do not have a high-speed train system? Infrastructure. Go look around, ladies and gentlemen. What other countries have electrical grid problems? That is interesting. Go look around, ladies and gentlemen. That's happening in America. Everything I just said is in America. No trains, nothing infrastructure. You're just on a thread. Tonight, there's going to be people in Florida who will not have electricity, not for 1 day, not for 2 days, but for weeks. That is wild. I'm just saying. I have nothing against America. It's a capitalist system. Everybody has a chance to win, unlike several other countries on the planet. But there's advantages if you put your money and make certain investments. Advantages if you have X amount of money at your disposal or credit. So therefore, you can stay above the fray. But you can only stay above the fray as long as you're going to have customers. Without customers or without taxpayers, your empire crumbles. And when your taxpayers have no more money to give the government, that means there's no infrastructure being built. That means there's no renewals. That means bridges, when they collapse, are done. That means when the grid collapses, it's not getting fixed like tomorrow. So just keep all this in mind while you're sitting here in America. You might want to consider some other country doing business like the big boys, or having real estate outside the U.S. so you have options. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my speech, and that's going to be my speech for the next 2 years. Not 3, but 2, because we're going to have a buildup for 2 years. There's going to be a buildup, and after that 2 years, there has to be a fall. And the fall is going to be epic. All right? It's going to be epic depending on what the Federal Reserve does, and depends on what happens with the taxation system in America. If the taxation system stays the same, where the most of the tax relief goes to the top, and then the bottom portion of people pay that for that tax relief for the top, that's a recipe for disaster, which is what got us into this in the first place. You cannot keep paying. Okay, I'll give you guys some numbers. You're not going to like it. So let's just say the top 1% earned $1.2 trillion. You guys can Google. $1.2 trillion. I want to ask somebody something. Let's just use normal persons. $1.2 trillion, just so you guys understand, is 1,200 $1 billion duffel bags of cash. $1,200 billion stacks is $1.2 trillion. If somebody told you that all they paid in tax was $1.9 billion, are you not upset? Because you would be upset if you told somebody, hey man, I made $100,000 this year and I paid $1,900 in tax, because that's the equivalent. Who here makes $100,000 and pays $1,900 in tax? And I'm going to tell you, don't even answer. Nobody. Nobody. So why should these guys get away with paying 1.9%, or actually less than 1.9% in tax? If you make $100,000, you're probably going to have to give up at least 20 to 25,000. So please explain how they're not having to put up about $300 billion to $350 billion in tax. That would go a long way for our infrastructure. But guess who gets to pay that $300 billion that they owe? Congratulations, you, the hardworking public. You have to pay their share. I'll keep saying it. Not only do you have to pay their share, you have to pay your share. I'm just saying, asking for a nation. So I want you guys to understand, nobody's coming to save you. You need to put yourself in play for the long run. Forget Social Security. That's may or may not be there. Forget your pension. That may or may not be there. You're going to have to do the stock market, the real estate game, buying into businesses like you're on Shark Tank. That is the keys. The 3 keys right there is unequivocal. All right. You also can still do the FHA, duplex, triplex, quadplex for real estate investing. You can get in cheap, 4% down. You can get in. You have a 680 and up credit score. But now, because the interest rates are going down, you're going to have to find a place that's affordable, that can pay for your loan if you rent it out. Always try to get a 4plex, but if you rent out 3 of the 4 units, because one of the units you have to live in for a year yourself. That's part of the FHA loan program. All right. I'm not going to say much more. We're going to wrap it up this evening. I made this commitment as well. I normally used to do almost 2 to 3 hour videos. Sometimes I do. Friday night is story night, so that's been going a little long. I'm not trying to do 2-hour videos any longer. I've got a lot of work to do because I've had some fail going down. Remember, I keep telling you guys, just because everything is good for a year or 2 or 5 or 10 or 15, something can happen. So when you have 7 streams of income and all of a sudden it goes down to 2, with it teetering on going down to 1, that's a significant decrease. So that means I have to start doing something. And so what do? I say, okay, I do have the stopstrugglingnow.com website. Hasn't been built like I wanted it. May have to redo it. But at least you can, there's some gear over there you can get. The link is down below in the description box. There's also a few other things that's coming that you'll be able to do with the authorized trade lines and things like that. But that'll be up this weekend, where people that want to improve their credit score, you can go down below and sign up for Smart Credit. That is the best credit monitoring system on the planet. And it even helps you with identity theft, which is great for you and everybody that has on their credit card statement as their same address as you. As long as you have Smart Credit, anybody that lives in your same household that on their credit report has the same address, all of you are covered. So if anything happens to anybody in your household, as long as you have credit, Smart Credit, you're good that way. Plus the other monitoring is just for you, but still hiring index, insurance index, car index, and regular credit score index is all there. Plus tells you when or what time of the month is the best time to make your payment. So therefore, your credit score will go up. It beats not knowing and doing what most people do, pay close to when the due date is while you're accumulating more interest. So therefore, this is very, very valuable. The link is down below in the description box. There's national credit. There's a link down below if you want to go check out how you can improve your credit score by getting a new credit line, no credit check. So that helps out. The merchandise does cost more, but that's okay. All right. So again, smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't get into the chat room, there's a reason. On Wednesday nights, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch. All right. We're going to wrap it up tonight. Unless somebody has something else to say, put it in the chat room right now. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below and get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen, but because it's hard out here, we've made some investments over the years. Miracle Cash and more. There's an update that I haven't talked about because really it's disgusting because they're talking about something that we weren't even invested in. A PINC coin, nodes, something called a leveler, a Miracle Cash debit card. We're not even in that ballpark. We're in NFT land. They don't even discuss it anymore. Not even worth doing the update. It's more disgusting. You just pound your fists and be like, man, these scammers. So it's very interesting what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And with all that said, stay tuned for the next 2 or 3 days. I'm going to be dropping or doing some live streams during the daytime hours. I did one on Monday. I'll do one tomorrow. And I expect the S&P or another one of the stock indexes to reach its all-time record high. So we're going to find out about this, and we'll see how it all goes. But that's where I'm leading. If you go year over year, I think it's going to be a nice little run-up on all stock market indexes, so it makes sense that you should have ETFs in your portfolio. VOO is good. VOOG is good. I don't see a problem with that. SCHD, that's a good one too. Either way, win, win, win. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay safe out here because you never know. People are going under stress, duress. Their family members are down there in Florida that they're stressed about. There's all kind of things going on. So make sure you understand the lay of the land and stay safe. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.